Hey, League Watchers. This is like the fifth time. This is the fifth time I've recorded this vlog. And I'm shaking the table. I gotta learn not to. It's been a long time since I've vlogged as myself rather than my pseudonym Daniel Marks, who has just recorded his 51st video, and here's the YouTube channel right there. If you want to start following Daniel Marks, because really there's not a whole lot of reason to follow Mark Henry at this point. I have some things planned for the future, but it's going to be a ways off. It's going to be long after people have forgotten me, seriously, which is sad, but you have to move on. So that's kind of what this video is about. It's about moving on and rolling with the punches and being flexible and changing. It's something that I feel like I've been kind of trained to do my whole life. My family, I'm not a military brat, but my dad he worked for the stores and things that are on military bases, so we got moved around quite a bit. And so like every couple of years we were kind of uprooted and had to like change everything about where we were living, had to get new friends every couple of years. It was like a crash course in dealing with transitions, and that happened all my life up until I want to say it kind of ended around my high school years. It was when it kind of slowed down, and then that was the end of it. But that's not the case. I mean, I want to say that's the case, but dealing with those transitions and learning to deal with them really quickly and be flexible, which is what it really taught me to do, has been good through the rest of my life. Because I've had a lot of very tumultuous experiences that have happened since high school and since we've stopped that moving process, which have been very devastating, and it's something that I think I'd become numbed to because it was something that was so common to have like your friends ripped away or whatever, and having to deal with that and move on and do it rapidly. So that when I've had to deal with things like deaths in the family or deaths of very close friends, or just sort of heightened emotional experiences and losses and things like that, it's gotten to the point where it's even a joke amongst my friends that I can kind of deal with all of those things in a very emotionless sort of way, which is I guess it's a skill. It's definitely helped me to be a psychotherapist, because I've been able to deal with really high stress situations and crises and stuff without becoming emotional and being able to kind of work through it in an intellectual manner rather than running off of like trying to put band-aids on everything, which is it's good. I mean, those are definitely some skill building things that have been helpful, and certainly within the last 19 months I've had to do that again. It's been a complete reversal, and 3 years before that, when I've kind of changed from being a psychotherapist to being a writer, it was this big change. It was a huge commitment, and I think that then when the Amanda books didn't get picked up for a fourth, even though I was really expecting them, I had reason to expect they would continue at least to the fourth book. That period was not so. That was the first time, I think, in my entire life that I was not so resilient, that I couldn't kind of roll with it. And I think the reason is that it takes me a long time to write books. So when I didn't have anything on the back burner, this was just a big mistake. I mean, I think as a writer and as a series writer, I think the biggest mistake you can make is expecting that your series is going to continue. That's a huge mistake. And if there's anyone watching this or any other leaguers watching this, please keep that in mind, because I know it feels like it's you're on this train. It's super kind of fun. Most of the time, it's more fun being an author than writing, which is it's just how it is. So anyway, so when the books didn't fly, when they didn't sell really after the first one, and the numbers were low and it just didn't happen, I really had to get to move on, and because I was writing, I had this idea for a young adult book, and it's a long young adult book, and I write so slow. It took me 19 months, 18 months actually, to get a product that was sellable, because it's a tougher sell. YA is a much tougher sell than an urban fantasy book. I don't know why that is, but my agent Jim put me through the ringer on revisions. He was just like, yeah, we got to get this. It's got to be up to snuff to sell to a major publisher, because we knew we weren't going to go back to Kensington. We knew that it was definitely going to be a big publisher that we would be shooting for. So anyway, yeah. So I had to I had to make some changes. I had to make some changes in the way that I vlog too. I mean, it had to be toned down. I mean, I can't do the same. I can't do, a bunch of dick jokes for the 12-year-olds. It doesn't work that way. And so, I mean, the person that's coming to you now in this vlog is definitely different than the person that's, read porn to you, in the past. But, I mean, people change and things change. So I'm writing YA. I'm vlogging YA. So that's it. And you know what? I even have a little thing here that a description of the book. It's called Velveteen, and it's going to be out in fall 2012. So I thought I would kind of do a little pre-thing for you. I don't want to really intermingle my pseudonym with my real name. I don't want to do that a whole lot. So I probably won't be doing it a lot. But I'll read this just as a taste. Velvet Monroe won't be resting in peace until her killer is either behind bars, catatonic, or 6 feet under. But in purgatory, unsanctioned hauntings are criminal, and her secret campaign of terror is distracting her from her soul-salvaging work. When a bizarre mission turns up devastating hottie Nick, so not her type. Her tenuous grasp on the rules goes straight out the window. Casual banter turns into passionate trysts, a week of ritual abuse awaits her killer's latest victim, and a revolution looms threateningly. If Velvet doesn't straighten up, it could mean death knells for purgatory and all those she's come to love. Somewhere between Beetlejuice and Jennifer's Body, this dark debut introduces a vibrant and violent new heroine and hero. Readers will be breathless for more of its quirky blend of horror, humor, and twisted romance. So that's Velveteen. We don't have an actual date yet, so it's like fall 2012. But that's it. So why don't you, in the comments, talk about things that you've had to be flexible about, or sort of your experiences with making big life changes. And we'll go with that.